Powerful, crystal clear sound for your next event. At Chai TV, we've got you covered nationwide. From weddings to church services, corporate events to outdoor concerts, birthdays to rallies, we deliver top-notch sound systems, microphones, mixers, speakers, DJ setups, lighting, and full audio support to make your event unforgettable. Based in Nairobi but serving the entire country, Chai TV is your trusted partner for quality, reliability, and clean sound that moves the crowd. Call or WhatsApp us today on 0799 220 217. Chai TV, let your sound be heard.
From learning about value addition, creating partnership, exploring market opportunities to harnessing technology, our experts will guide you through real-life success stories where farmers like you are shifting from producers to agribusiness moguls. Join us every day from 8 to 9 p.m. as we explore the path from farm to business and help you unlock the potential of your farm. The Tea Business, where your farm transforms into a thriving enterprise.
Looking for powerful, crystal clear sound for your next event? At Chai TV, we've got you covered nationwide. From weddings to church services, corporate events to outdoor concerts, birthdays to rallies. We deliver top-notch sound systems, microphones, mixers, speakers, DJ setups, lighting, and full audio support to make your event unforgettable. Based in Nairobi but serving the entire country, Chai TV is your trusted partner for quality, reliability, and clean sound that moves the crowd. Call or WhatsApp us today on 0799 220 217. Chai TV, let your sound be heard. Looking for powerful, crystal clear sound for your next event? At Chai TV, we've got you covered nationwide. From weddings to church services, corporate events to outdoor concerts, birthdays to rallies, we deliver top-notch sound systems, microphones, mixers, speakers, DJ setups, lighting, and full audio support to make your event unforgettable. Based in Nairobi but serving the entire country, Chai TV is your trusted partner for quality, reliability, and clean sound that
Oke maruto kobo ine misilio ke maonokia Kagama ono makohegania Mugaruranakia maondo mothe Siama wa ingeresia nasia Israeli Oke maruto kobo ine misilio ke maonokia Monene waita Hotire na hotikaya Kayo anatawe Muruthi wa Juda Oita okai Keoti wa mote
Looking for powerful, crystal clear sound for your next event? At Chai TV, we've got you covered nationwide. From weddings to church services, corporate events to outdoor concerts, birthdays to rallies, we deliver top-notch sound systems, microphones, mixers, speakers, DJ setups, lighting, and full audio support to make your event unforgettable. Based in Nairobi but serving the entire country, Chai TV is your trusted partner for quality, reliability, and clean sound that moves the crowd. Call or WhatsApp us today on 0799 220 217. Chai TV, let your sound be heard. Looking for powerful, crystal clear sound for your next event? At Chai TV, we've got you covered nationwide. From weddings to church services, corporate events to outdoor concerts, birthdays to rallies, we deliver top-notch sound systems, microphones, mixers, speakers, DJ setups, lighting, and full audio support to make your event unforgettable. Based in Nairobi.
Otire na otikaya kayo anatawe Muruthi wa Juda Hallelujah Just say yes Hallelujah
very good morning to you. My name is Benson Noma and I welcome you to Agri Finance. And if you're a farmer, if you're an agribusiness enthusiast, or you are already practicing agribusiness, I would want to welcome you to this broadcast and allow you understand that number one, you need a notebook. Number two, you need to relax and be in an environment that will allow you get to learn and understand the intricacies of agri finance. And you see, agri finance is among the most important and critical things for any farmer, any person who is thinking of scaling up their business. That starts from you wanting to make it either a business, a company, or an enterprise that is worthwhile. Not only even an enterprise, if at all you're looking forward to practice agriculture, to practice farming, or to practice agri-business at large scale, you really are going to need this session. Now, I want to start real quick with a story. And this story is of this farmer. I remember growing up, there is this farmer from our neighborhood who had a really large kind of a herd of cattle. And one thing really stood out for me is the fact that the farm really looked successful. The farmer had it all together until one day something happened. The animals were sick, and then the farmer could not sustain the farm anymore. Consequently, the farmer lost each and every piece of cattle that he had. I think he was left with around 3 cows there, right? And hizi ndizo zile vitu zenye as a farmer or as an enthusiast who wants to build a business successfully, these are some of the things that you need to put in mind and understand. That if at all I'm going to build something reasonable and something yenye ita remain, lazima nianze ku open up my mind to the things that are going to help me sustain my farm. Starting from insurance, going to the way that you access capital or the way that you access finance. It could be through financing by debt or financing by equity, which are some of the things that we are going to jump into. And if you really want to move from one level to another, or you want to move your business or your farm from a level whereby you're just doing it subsistently to a level whereby you can commercialize what you do and approach it at a very higher level and a higher magnitude of scale, then you need to fully understand how agricultural finance works, or what we call agri finance works. And as we introduce the show, I would love to help you understand exactly what agri-finance is. Now, in this session, what we are going to be working on and what we are going to be focusing on is agri-finance as the essence of understanding. Number one, how do you manage money on your farm? How do you keep the records? How do you grow that to profits? How do you save that which you have already made as profits? And then how do you move that to investment? And how do you access loans and credits and funding as a farmer? That is all this show is about, and is to help you as a farmer, whether umetoka kule mashinani Moranga ndani, Kiambu uko ndani, ama Limuru, ama kule Turkana uko ndani unafuga mifugo, or in the Masai land whereby all you're focusing on is the cattle, or you're coming from Kinangop penye what you're growing areas za Nyandarua ni waru and cabbages and stuff. This session is going to be for you. So please don't touch the dial. Please don't scroll through and don't go past this, because this is going to be a really helpful session for you. Now, back to my story. So this farmer of ours lost everything, literally everything that they had. And by everything, what I mean is that kubaki na ng'ombe tatu from having, I think, over 20 cows is not a small thing for a farmer. And what really shocked me, I remember your time, I wasn't really young as I would say. I wasn't a child, at least I understood a few things, because back then I was in high school. And I remember suggesting that maybe this farmer could have gotten a loan and then revamped the business, because the farmer used to supply milk kwa watu wa kijiji, alikuwa anapeleka kwa dairy, and the business was really doing well. And I was like, why don't this farmer, because he or she was sure that I can take loan and I'm going to generate money, because I'm sure the farmer was generating a lot of money. I remember niye alikuwa talk of the village around that area, whereby everyone was like, this farmer is really making a lot of money and this farmer is really doing well when it comes to agriculture. Unfortunately, the things of life happened to the farmer, and then the farmer could not continue anymore. So that time, as nilikuwa nasema maybe anaweza akachukua loan, the farmer tried. I remember ilikuwa story ilikuwa inaendelea, so I kind of like eavesdropped on their conversation. My parents now, hiyo time tukiogeshagi with my relatives, and they were saying that this farmer has already tried to access finance. This farmer has already tried to call banks or to call SACCOs, and it was next to impossible for this person to get the money. And that could be you, that could be your neighbor, that could be your friend, that could be your family member, that could be someone you know going through such a calamity or such a disaster in their business endeavor in agriculture. And that is basically why a lot of farmers, and you as a farmer, you need to understand exactly how does agricultural finance work, and how do you ensure that you access finance. And before even we start discussing the types of finance, how you can access the fund from either the private sector or the commercial sector, that is the banks, the SACCOs, the cooperatives, and the initiatives that are coming up to help farmers, or the way that you can access finance either from also private sectors, from public sector, sorry, maybe from the grants as a government, from people who are funding you, from people who are just angel investors, whatever it is, the way that you can access funding. Let's delve right into it as the introduction for our good program that we are going to be having. So I take this opportunity without much of an introduction to invite you every morning, be tuning in to the Agri Finance show, so that you can get to understand exactly what do I need to do and how do I need to do this, so that I can ensure that in the long run, I am able to sustain my business, I am able to sustain the farm, and altogether, I am able to sustain my dreams. Because kila mtu before afungue shamba, before ufikirie this is what you want to do, or this is the kind of cattle that you're going to be keeping, you start first of all by could decide that nitakuwa nafanya hivi, and the goal is to do this. Your goal could be to sustain your children. Your goal could be maybe to educate your community. Your goal inaweza ikakuwa unataka kutengeneza pesa, you want to generate wealth, whether as a young person or as an old person. And let's dive right into the first question. I remember there's this time last year someone asked me, why do you think it's so hard for some of the farmers to access finance? And I would say it's not really that hard. Kuna banks, SACCOs, cooperatives zenye zime come up that they are making it easier for these farmers to have records and to access finance quite easily, because unajua even the banks, for them to give you money, they are in business, they are running a business. So for them to be in a position whereby they want to give you money and they want to allow you as a farmer access finance, it starts first of all by proving as a farmer or as a business enterprise that they're coming out to invest into, that number one, you're worthy, right? Number one, that you're worthy of getting the money. Number two, that you have the records that show that this is not something that I'm going to lose money in, and this is not something yenye naekelea pesa then ipotele kesho. And number three, it goes even beyond just farming. It goes towards you allowing them understand that you understand the landscape. That is the market, all right? Unaelewa hii market inaenda hivi, hii market inafaa approachiwe hivi, na this and that is what I need to do as a person. So that is it into the intro of the same. And all right, so maybe if we would want to break it down to what it's supposed to be and to what it's and into how it's supposed to go, maybe we can break it down from here now. As I was telling you, I got this question: why is it that it's so hard to access finance? Why is it that it's so hard to access money from the public sector? Why is it that it's so hard to access cash as a farmer? Why is it that it's so hard for you to get funding? Why is it that it's so hard for you to access that help from people and be in a position whereby you can make a difference or you can make a change, all right? So let's start with the first one before we go for our short break. Let me start with the first reason. The first reason is because as farmers coming from very marginalized communities, as a farmer coming from areas whereby we were never taught on how to be banked, how to keep books, and how to keep records, it becomes really hard for you to understand that nafaa nifanye hivi ndo by the time yenye naenda kwa sako ama naenda kwa bank nitaweza kufanya A, B, C, D. Ama so that you can get to understand that by the time yenye naenda kudeal na clients, even ndivyo nafaa wa approach, so that by the time I'm going to access funding, it can be really, really easy for me to do that. And many farmers, including you who is watching me, I don't know your case, but if you look around you, out of every 10 farmers that you know, how many do you think keep records? How many do you think they have the numbers? How many do you think wamejiweka in a position whereby if you came to them, you can say, huyu farmer ana producingi maziwa lita fulani, anapelekeanga watu fulani hiyo maziwa. Let's use dairy as an example. Anapelekea wakulima, anapelekea customers maziwa lita ngapi, anapatanga pesa ngapi. How much of that is expense and how much of that is profit? Because at the same time, you know, usually kwa farming, it's really hard to calculate your overheads, and it's really hard for you to know when you're making losses if you're not careful. Because if right now you go and sit down and decide that naenda kufanya A, B, C, D, na even ndivyo nitafanya, maybe unataka kulima nyanya, alright? Uende uamue kulima nyanya, and it's a good business. Don't get me wrong, it's a really, really good business. And then maybe you spend around 28,000 maybe kufanya the entire process, kulima, kupanda, kulipa watu, all of that. And then at one particular point, maybe after 3 months, nyanya zako zimeanza kuwa ready kuvuno, you've gotten clients, and maybe you sell the entire nyanya, hizo nyanya zote, hizo crates zote, maybe you sell them for like 70,000. You know what that means for you? That simply means for you that you have made exactly, that is close to 42,000 there. All right, you've made 42,000 for the 3 months, which that breaks down to something less than 16,000. All right, less than 16,000 each and every month. Ni kumaanisha month ya kwanza uliunda maybe 14,000, month ya pili ulingoja uunde 12,000, which is way little than someone who is already employed. All right, so one of the biggest things that you need to understand is that as a farmer, lazima ujue your maths. How are your maths going? How do you calculate your profits? How do you calculate the expenses? And how do you calculate the way that you move forward? So that is the first thought that I want to give to every farmer, because hakuna venye unauza nyanya ya 1,200 and you're not keeping records, and then you expect that ukienda kwa maybe for public funding you can get it. Later on after the break we will be diving into exactly how finance works from the private sector and the public sector. So if unataka ku access finance from the public sector, that could be the government. It's really easy for you to get it through that way, but it's really hard for you to do that if at all au keep records zako and you want to get it from a bank or a sacco or a cooperative. Si rahisi ya watu wakupatie pesa as a farmer. So you need to understand the secrets, and number one that I'm giving to you is that unahitaji ku keep records. Number two, you need to be very organized, and that is why I really want to lay the credit to the government initiatives that are coming up each and every time, each and every day. Unasikia kuna sako fulani na support watu kadhaa, majani wako na KTDA, kuna watu wa avocado wako na organization yenye na support, and this is really helping farmers to start and gain that balance, stability and organization, so that at least now you can access funding from those circles or through those circles, as opposed to the time that you could have accessed directly. So guys, as we'll be coming back, we'll be defining the different types of funding, that is equity financing and debt financing. But before that, I would love to let us go for a short break and remind you, do not touch that dial. This is Chai TV, Agri Financial, the corner whereby we ensure that you learn everything about finance in agriculture. Don't touch. We're coming right back. Looking for powerful, crystal clear sound for your next event? At Chai TV, we've got you covered nationwide. From weddings to church services, corporate events to outdoor concerts, birthdays to rallies, we deliver top-notch sound systems, microphones, mixers, speakers, DJ setups, lighting, and full audio support to make your event unforgettable. Based in Nairobi but serving the entire country, Chai TV is your trusted partner for quality, reliability, and clean sound that moves the crowd. Call or WhatsApp us today on 0799 220 217. Chai TV, let your sound be heard. Looking for powerful, crystal clear sound for your next event? At Chai TV, we've got you covered nationwide.
Kwenye kila kikombe cha chai, kuna zaidi ya ladha, kuna urithi, kumbukumbu na mshikamano. Hutufunga pamoja, hubeba hadithi, huunganisha vizazi na kusherehekea utambulisho wetu. Utamaduni, historia na moyo katika kila kikombe. Ungana nami kila siku ya wiki kutoka saa 8 mpaka saa 9 jioni. Jina langu ni Samira Monaidi. Kwenye kila kikombe cha chai, kuna zaidi ya ladha, kuna urithi, kumbukumbu na mshikamano. Chai hutufunga pamoja, hubeba hadithi, huunganisha vizazi na kusherehekea utambulisho wetu. Utamaduni, historia na moyo katika kila kikombe. Ungana nami kila siku ya wiki kutoka saa 8 mpaka saa 9 jioni. Jina langu ni Samira Monaidi. Kwenye kila kikombe cha chai, kuna zaidi ya ladha, kuna urithi, kumbukumbu na mshikamano. Chai hutufunga pamoja, hubeba hadithi, huunganisha vizazi na kusherehekea utambulisho wetu. Utamaduni, historia na moyo katika kila
This being a really revolutionary kind of a session for you, and itatusaidia to understand exactly how it goes. And naona Kevo Blessed, Steve M. Kanyanya. Guys, let's keep on tuning, let's keep on sharing, let's keep on letting people understand that we are alive and that we are educating farmers on how to access finance and how to ensure that haupotezi finance zako, na to ensure that at any given time you can approach a cooperative or as a circle to get the finance yenye unataka. Before we went for our break, tulikuwa tunadiscuss how farmers and the challenges zenye wanapitia and zinawafanya they cannot access finance no matter how they try. And I want to dig on that a little bit more before to end to the next session on the different types of finance that you can access. Now, if you get to realize and if you can learn to understand, one of the biggest thing that has been happening in the field of finance is the due diligence part. Na sio tu kwa agriculture, not only in agribusiness, it has been in every business that every investor who wants to put in money, they're in business themselves and they want to understand exactly, as I'm putting my money into this thing, as I'm putting my money into this enterprise, what do I stand to get and how am I going to get what I'm looking for? And this is something that you need to understand, that anybody who wants to give you reasonable money, hata kama ni rafiki yako, as a farmer, they need to do their due diligence to understand you. And eventually, you see, it's really funny the fact that in the world, the food that is produced globally in the world, it's enough to feed the whole world like twice, all right? And if this food now is enough to feed the world like 2 times, then what could be the problem? Which could be the issue of distribution. And then what could be hindering distribution? Because unaona, if we are going to think revolutionarily, and if you are going to think big as a farmer, if you're going to think, how do I move from this level to the next level, and how do I become even better at what I do, then you must get to the level whereby you understand exactly what is limiting, what is standing between me and where I want to get, or what is standing between the providence that I want to make to the market and me getting the resources or the facility to be able to take that to the market. And that is the first thing, and it is distribution. And distribution is hindered by finance. But let me even come down from even distribution to the fact that most people, of course, tunadhaningi, we don't have enough food because kuna food shortage. At the same time that we are saying that the food is enough to feed over twice the population yenye tuko nayo already in the world, then how then do we say that kuna places whereby people are dying of famine, people are starving, etc., etc. And it all goes down to the idea ya most farmers. And this goes to the small farmers. If you look around, you go to the central Kenya, you go to the areas of Kinangop, uende Murang'a, Kiambu, uende the western. Look at these areas. They are filled with farmers, either farming animals or farming crops, all right? And one of the biggest problem is productivity per unit area. And let me explain that. That most farmers, unaona, for me to give you my money, you must assure me that the productivity per unit area make sense. And this productivity per unit area, what I mean is, if at all unalima 1 acre of land, and 1 acre of land, if you practice properly, maybe una produce maize, it's supposed to give us maybe 1 ton or maybe 20 sacks or 100 sacks of maize. And then once you do all of that with your acre, the only thing you can produce ni 10 sacks zenye tu utaweka kwa granary yako, usiage unga, familia ikule, maybe you share with a few people, sell a little, and then that is it. I'm not going to give you my money because the first question that I need to ask myself is, can this person manage this farm so well? Can they increase the productivity so well so that I can give them the finance? And to every farmer, we kama mkulima, one of the things that you need to understand ni ati, by the time bank wanakuja kwako, by the time sako wanakupe hiyo pesa, they don't view it as helping you. Neither do they view it as ati wewe tu ni mkulima. They view you as a business. So you need to start viewing yourself as a business so that you can meet the metrics, okay? And this is what brings me to the second topic as I'm talking of metrics, and that is the 2 different kinds of finance, all right? Na nitaanza na hiyo ya bank. It's called debt finance. Debt finance is where nakupatia pesa and I expect you to repay me my money after a given period of time. Sometimes banks wanakuambia pay me after 3 years. Sometimes the banks will tell you pay me after exactly 5 years. So it's upon you to decide exactly after these 3 years, what do I do with the money that I'm getting from the bank or from the SACCO so that nitaweza kuilipa, that every month as they are requesting for installments, I can be able to pay them. Because the problem with debt financing is that it's a lethal kind of a form of finance. And by lethal, what I mean is that it's a high risk finance. Because if they give you their money, they expect you to pay, and if you don't pay, kuna collateral zenye ulipeana, and that is what they are coming for. It could be ni ngombe walikununulia, hiyo ndo watakujia. It could be ni shamba walikununulia, hiyo ndo yenye watakujia. Ama maybe ulieka gari yako ndo collateral yako. So if you don't pay, then they come for it after a number of default payments. So as a farmer, the first thing that you need to understand so that utamaster debt financing is understanding how do you view your farm as a business. And then ndo una transition now from hitu ni shamba yenye nalima to how do I manage what nalima to get it to the customers, ndo how customer wanunue so that I can be able to pay back to the banks. And most of the farmers wenye bado wako marginalized, you're still poor, you're still struggling with your endeavor in farming, one of the biggest reason why that has continued over time is because, one, you do not really understand how to make your farm be like a business. You're making money out of it, but you have not yet approached your farm as a business. Ujaanza kufikiria profit ni nini, as I was explaining before we went for our break. You cannot spend 30,000 to only make 40,000 gross income and then your profit hapo ni 10,000. Ni heri utafute kazi ukuwe umeajiriwa. So as a farmer lazima ufanye your math very well to understand this is how much I make. This is what I've been making over time. And this is how I go about making my money as a farmer, all right? So that as unafanya branding yako, as unaenda huko nje unaongea na watu, whether ni hotels utawak na wao, whether ni mashule unawak na wao, you understand that if these people pay me this amount of money, I can be able to service a loan maybe ya 2 million ama ya 3 million in a bank ama in a sacco, depending na kwenye unataka kuenda. Because kama hautaweza kufinance utakuwa na struggles kulipa and then itakupe stress. So that is the first kind of capital. Inaitwa debt financing. Inatoka kwa sacco and inatoka kwa MFIs, and you see hii kitu inakuanga very strict. It's very strict for you to get money. Over time we are going to be bringing you guests from different banks who will be letting you understand how does financing work and how does it ensure that as tunakupatia hii pesa as a farmer, tunahakikisha that the growth, the procedure ya kuendelea as a person inakuwa vizuri, ama the procedure ya kugrow as a person inaendelea kuflow in the right direction. We'll be bringing people wenye watakuwa allow understand if unataka ku access loan kwa Equity Bank ama I&M Bank, ama unataka kwenda Chai Sacco, ama unataka kwenda Tai Sacco, ama unataka kwenda Unitas, ama unataka kwenda KCB ama Barclays, whichever place you want to go, whichever bank you want to access from, we'll be bringing here experts wenye watakusaidia ku understand this is what our bank is looking for, and that is something that as a farmer you should be looking forward to. That is why I'm encouraging you every day wake up and tune into the session so that uta learn more about agriculture finance na utajua how do I manage my finance to become better. Now let's go back to our discussion. That is the first kind of debt, finance, sorry, and that is about debt. Hiyo umepewa deni na bank na lazima utawalipa. Number 2 iko na interest. Do not forget that. The good thing is that you still possess your land, you still possess your animals, you still possess your business. Ni yako, ni loan tu utalipa and then it's yours. And it's a quick way to get money and a quick way to come out of owing people. But let's go to the second one, because every kind of financing iko na pros and cons. The second one is what we call financing yenye ni equity. And by equity what I mean ni shares. And I know kama we ni mkulima, hadi ule mwenye ako uko ndani, whether uko wapi, uko Dendero ndani, whether uko Meru to the deepest ends of it, you understand kuna kitu inaitwa shares. And this is where mtu watakuja waseme tunataka kuinvest kwa shamba yako, tutaekelea 3,000,000. This is a business to us. And for every proceed yenye tunapata kutoka kwa shamba, utakuwa ukitupatia this percent. Wanakuambia ukitengeneza 100,000 unatupatia 30 ama 40. Ukitengeneza 1,000,000, 1,400 ni zetu. Na sio tu sahi, even in future to come. So it is kind of a slow kind of a way to get finance. It's high risk because you stand a chance of losing control for your farm. Na una stand a chance ya kupoteza control ya biashara yako at the same time. But it's really a good way of getting finance as well, because number 1, you get people who can help you run your business, you get people who can help you manage your business, you get people who can expose you to the market, because sometimes tunaangalianga equity financing in a very negative way, na hiyo ndio hufanya watu wengi tuikatae. Sikia mtu akikwambia nitakupe 1,000,000 then nitakuwa nikichukua 40% ya biashara yako, and you start thinking huyu mtu atakulia pesa mingi sana. Uangalie the fact that this person stands a chance to opening you to opportunities you will never think are possible. No, chances that you can never imagine unaweza ukareach as a farmer, as a single farmer. And you see, working together is better than working alone. Actually, the secret has gone back to either equity or getting money from the circles. We'll be discussing that. So as a farmer, equity is a really important thing for you. It's an important factor for you, and it's something that you would want to look into and something that you would want to focus onto, all right, as a farmer. Na ni kitu yenye itakuwa ni revolution sana kwako. So equity, mtu anaweza akakuja akwambie tutakupatia 200,000 ulime kuku, kwa hizo kuku zenye unalima hii pesa ni yetu. What you do not understand about the advantages of such is, huyu mtu jua amekelea pesa yake. Number 1, they will connect you to their networks of people who need kuku zako. Because hizo kuku zako hadi ukuwe na kuku 500 na hazina watu wa kuchukua, ama ukuwe na kuku 10,000 na una watu wa kuchukua, it still doesn't make any difference. Zitazeekea hapo, utakula wewe na watoto wako, uuze kidogo zenye umezoea kuuza hapo kwa kijiji ama kwa soko, and that is it. But if you want to grow your farm, finance kitu unaweza avoid. So that is the first advantage ya equity funding. The second advantage ya equity funding in hiyo inatokanga na investor is the fact that they make you aware of your business. All right? And it's because watakuuliza maswali mingi sana. No one will give you money, as we mentioned before we went for our break. We had mentioned that for anyone to give you money, for anyone to trust you na pesa yao, lazima of course wafanye due diligence yao. So they make you more aware of your business, and I've grown to realize, I don't know what you're thinking back at home. If you have done this, please comment, please share your opinions, please let us know what was it like and how was it going. But if you have really tried to be aware of your business, whether unauzanga nyanya, whether unauzanga vitunguu, whether unauza kuku, uta realize that being aware kind of like multiplies your profit, kind of like multiplies the kind of revenue that you're able to make per given time. So if you are making, let's say 20,000 in a month, ile tu randomly, you realize by you just being aware of what it is and how it is going, you realize umeanza ku make 40,000, you realize that umeanza ku make 50,000, 80,000, 100,000. So that is really key for you, and that is really important for you to get to the funding stage yenye unaweza ukapata pesa from the bank or the SACCOs. Now, let me pose this question to you as we conclude our session. Now, as a farmer, what do you think is more important to you? And what do you think is the safest way to get money for your business? Is it going to the SACCOs, kuchukua loan yenye utakuwa ukilipa kila month, or finding someone who is ready kukupatia a few thousands or millions for you to invest into your business so that you can grow from there to the next level that you're looking for? That is one of the biggest questions yenye tutakuwa tukijibu kesho, and we will also be discussing on the same, which is the safest place for you as a farmer to go, because there must be that safe place for you, there must be that good balance for you, and tuta discuss unafaa uende wapi, unafaa uchukue nini, depending shamba yako ni ya nini, uko wapi, una target nani, what are your dreams na unataka kuachieve nini. That is what we'll be discussing over our tomorrow's session. Now, I lay my second question to you. As a farmer, how aware are you of your farming and the business that you're doing? How aware are you? On a scale of 1 to 10, how aware are you? And if today tungekuja tukuulize, how much do you make from your farm? If today tutakuja tukuulize, how much do you stand to lose if this and this happens? How much do you understand about your farm? Because those are the two questions zenye, if you are looking for kupata pesa kutoka kwa banks, kutoka kwa SACCOs, kutoka kwa hizo cooperatives zenye zimetengenezwa, hizo ni maswali lazima utajibu. And tumesha move from the time whereby collateral ilikuwa tu bora uko na ng'ombe wewe tutakupea pesa. Now it has moved to another level whereby people want to know, am I getting my money? And then if I'm getting my money as a bank because I'm in business, or as a SACCO, siku hizi si tuka kitambo ati nataka kurudisha hiyo pesa. Also I need to think, the more I keep you, the more money I'm making as a business. So how aware are you of your business? How are you running it in the best way? And how good are you making it? So farmers, viewers, agribusiness enthusiasts, students, wherever you are, from wherever you are watching this session from, once again, this is the Agri Finance show, and this is where we share the secrets, the norms, the strategies, and the things that you should not do when it comes to agriculture, and how to manage your finances for a better farming experience, and to ensure that in future you can become the next big thing. Sio tu kuangalianga tu kwa TV unaona tu majuu ndiko tu kuko na wazungu ndo tu wako na mashamba kubwa zenye wanafanya biashara nazo, wanapeleka chakula to other countries. You can also do that, and that starts by you understanding exactly how does finance work, how is it being distributed, and how can you access it, and how do you manage it. Until next time, my name is Benson Numa. Please stay tuned to Chai TV for these and more. Cheers. See you tomorrow. Wishing you a really good day.